Hi, this is Emily the Songbird, and welcome to another episode of An Odyssey of Song. Shame is the most powerful master emotion. It's the fear that we're not good enough. The truth is, we are good enough. We are good enough to be exactly who we are. The Dream Keeper helps us to discover the dreams that are inside of us, right? Those deep creative dreams that may have been ignored even for most of your life. The Magic Mother helps you to nurture yourself, to remind you of how wonderful you are, and to take care of the temple that houses the dreams that you're in. That divine feminine energy holds that creative space so that you can sing to the spiders in the closet. Now, what do I mean by sing to the spiders in the closet? The closet is that deep, dark place in your psyche that houses creativity. I remember years ago, I was living in a studio apartment and there were all these super scary spiders. They were crawling around my studio and I found them in my closet and I would slam my closet shut, trying to hide away these magnificent creatures, truly. The Native Americans saw these creatures as the symbols of creativity because they weave such intricate, beautiful webs. They're beautiful. And so are you at your essence, at your core. But we need to unpeel those layers of conditioning, of those critical voices inside you that said you aren't good enough. We all have them, right? But we also have those voices that say you are good enough. And those are the voices that we want to hear, right? We want to hear those voices. One suggestion that I have is to go back to a story one of my students has years ago. He was this big buff guy, 240 pounds, and he came in, he worked at the nuclear power plant, and he wanted to learn to play the song Moonlight Sonata on the piano. And I was happy to help him, but when he sat down to play, he played so softly that I could barely hear him. And so I asked him, I said, did anybody ever tell you anything about yourself that made you feel not good enough? And he said that when he was little, he used to play the guitar, but he played very softly. And so he got the nickname from his uncle, Ting Ting, because he would play so softly that nobody could hear. So these names stick. These criticisms stick from when we're a child. One of the things that I did, which is how I heal myself, is I wrote a song about it. I wrote a song about the shame that I was carrying for years. And it was actually, my father held that shame, and it was rooted in generations. But my grandfather was a big critic for me. But now I know him to be my biggest and best teacher. So I'd like us to listen to this song, and originally it was called The Clouds of Shame, but I changed it to call it A Dance in Grace.
If I could say just a few words about my life, it would be, it's been quite a ride. If I could stand before the artist of this world, I would pray, paint peace for every boy and every girl. And if I had just one wish before you blew my candles out, it would be that you would clear the clouds of shame that had blocked my name. like my name. When I was just a little girl, I ran away into the rain. I put my pink umbrella up to protect me from this pain. I feel glimmers of the sun glisten on my face, hear my daddy's voice calling out my name through these clouds of shame. Come out and play. And but one single voice singing through these storms of change. But I'll be damned if I'm not splashing through these puddles of pain. I can feel my daddy's arms wrap around my waist, pulling me in tight to his heavenly embrace. So let's sing about a pain, heal the pain and wash away the war, paint a sunny day. Through these clouds of shame. Daddy says to me as we walk into the rain, Emily, come take my hand. May I have this dance, have this dance in grace.
Now that we've had a chance to listen to that song, I would love for you to sketch out your creativity critic. Who is that? What is that character inside of you that said you're not good enough? I remember for me that creativity critic always had these hands that didn't work. And when I first started on the guitar, and still sometimes, my hands are like that. They don't do what my mind wants them to do. So in order to move through the shame that may be holding us back in terms of expressing our creative essence, or what I call your song, have fun creating this critic and giving it a voice, right? But then also responding to it with compassion. This is Emily the Songbird with another tip for your day, and I hope that you have a magical and musical day. Namaste.